Hi class, welcome to the fall 2022 semester. Glad you're here. We're ready to do some Java training. Welcome to CIS170. My name's Renee Riley and I'm your instructor this semester. This is my resume at a glance page. I think I showed it to you in our little intro video also. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about thinking and learning because that's what we're here to do this semester. And first of all, thinking about thinking, I need for you to challenge assumptions. Sometimes you need to seek evidence and look for multiple points of view. We might have assumptions that aren't correct, especially about programming languages, things that we maybe have learned in the past or learned on our own. Please don't assume anything. Always keep your eyes open and do the testing to actually seek evidence that your assumption is correct. I need you to develop curiosity about that seeking process. Ask people about themselves, learn more about the things around you, explore museums and libraries, even on Google Earth if you need to. Develop that healthy curiosity so that you know what questions to ask as you're working with people on their computer needs. We need to be able to find creative solutions in this field. So I want you to remember that daydreaming is a really powerful tool. It's a powerful creative tool to let your mind go and be free so that it can come up with ideas on its own. Remember, sometimes we just keep ourselves too limited, just trapped in that box. What would you do if you had no limits or no risk of failure? We want to be thinking about those kinds of creative solutions. And most of all, we want to enjoy learning. Remember, learning is the best way to improve. We can improve ourselves, improve our life situation. But what's important about learning? Well, we have to explore. We have to be aware that we're looking for the important details. We have to be willing to experience things, to find out that we were wrong, that we were incorrect, or to assimilate additional knowledge. We always need to be revising our plan, updating our information in our memory banks so that we have the most current and up-to-date information. As we're learning, there are some things that we can do to help. We can take notes, we can practice, we can organize material in our notes and in our practice so that it's easy to find in the future when we need to access it again. So all of these things can help us in our learning process. Now, Canvas is one of the tools that we'll use, and in Canvas we've tried to organize all of the assignments and all of the things that you need to complete the class. Teams is another facility that's available to us. We use it for class chat, like asking questions, introducing ourselves, and if we need to meet or share information with each other, we can use Teams to do that easily. For our class, as we begin our Java development, we're going to be using our Revel online ebook kind of environment. They have a great coding environment that will allow us to do that beginning coding. Replit.com is another facility that will allow you to create Java code and Java practice programs without installing any software or doing any major setup. PythonTutor.org also allows you to run Java code, and it gives you a really nice visualization of your code as it's executing so that you can kind of think in your mind of what's happening behind the scenes. Revel, like I said, is our online textbook, and it does contain a lot of your beginning assignments. Stay positive about Revel. They have come up with a new version this semester, so there's always a chance we could have technical issues, but everybody has really liked the tool, and it's been very, very helpful to students in the past. So I think if we keep a positive, open mind about it, we can benefit the most. If you do run into trouble or confusion, ask questions in our open channels. our general channel on Teams or our CIS170 Riley channel in Discord. Please don't just DM me unless it's really a personal issue. Let's keep those questions out in the public so that the answers can help everyone else in our class. We need to always be willing to collaborate with others to learn more. No lone wolves in our field. Sometimes there are, but they could always do better by collaborating with others. As you're submitting assignments, remember, I only want you to submit the high quality work that will make you proud in the future. As you work through this semester, remember, be flexible. We're always working with technology. We can always run into issues, but we only have big problems if we let the issues stress us out and turn into major problems or stumbling blocks. So let's take care of those questions and problems when they first come up before they turn into something major. Now, in our online class, our required proctored event will be a quick Teams meeting with me sometime through the semester. This will be your only proctored event, and an assignment in Canvas will prompt you to schedule the meeting. In Canvas, you'll see that our material is split into weekly lessons, and I need you to remember that online classes really require some dedication from students. You're going to need to be aware that each lesson will become available when the previous one is completed. You need to keep on top of your studies and make sure you don't fall behind. Attendance in our course is established by completing assignments, and 2 weeks with no assignment completions would qualify for administrative withdrawal. So let's keep on top of things. As we begin the lesson, the beginning of a lesson will give us information about what chapter or contents we're reviewing in our Revel content. We want to scan through that chapter to get an idea of what kind of topics we're going to be looking at. Just get some general exposure of the topics being introduced in the chapter. Some of our chapters are very, very long, very involved. So this preliminary preview will kind of give you an idea of what all material is coming up. You can make an outline of the material to begin note development and a list of terms that you notice in your preliminary review. You'll then want to watch the lecture video and any guided practice videos. Then it's time to do your deep dive. Some people will deep dive into the chapter, complete all the hands-on examples, note all the new topics in their notes, and update their vocabulary. Some other people are a little overwhelmed by the size of the chapters, so for them, they might need to focus on completing assignments by using the assignment as a guide and using the Revel content as sort of a reference material to be able to complete the assignment. That's fine if you like to do things that way. Just make sure that you do end up with knowledge from all sections of the content before moving on to the next lesson. As you go through the semester, we know that we can run into personal problems and issues that can cause trouble for us at school. OTC has a lot of resources available to students. I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of those. On campus, in ITC, or Cafe 101, they do have the Eagle Breakfast every morning that's free for any OTC student. So even if you're not on campus, you can drop by and pick one up, I guess. They're in ITC 109. There will be a food pantry, and this is going to be a place where you could pick up free meals or snack packs or maybe some groceries if things are getting pretty slim at your house. They also have some hygiene kits like deodorant and soap and shampoo, those kinds of things, so you can keep from spending your hard-earned student bucks on that sort of stuff. Dina Davies, our community resource specialist, kind of spearheads these areas, and she is a personal contact for you as a student if you run into some sort of problem that is causing you issues with school, car problems, transportation issues, housing issues, things like that. Dina can keep you, or can hook you up with the right resources in the community. So remember, if you run into problems, even though they're not related to your actual schoolwork, there are resources available for you here at OTC. Well, let's go ahead and get started in our class. We're going to look at Canvas real quick and look at our Revel textbook before we get too far into things. Remember, we're here to learn, so you should be excited about exploring new tools and technologies. Remember that the opportunity to learn something new is going to make you worth more down the road, so they're all good. Thank you, and I will see you in our next video, our introduction to Revel. Before we do that, let's take a look at Canvas. Here in Canvas, you should start out seeing our home page. There might be announcements up here at the top of the screen. Make sure you look at those announcements because I use those to convey really important information to the class. This homepage lists information on how to get a hold of me, links to other great topics, so just here for you. Now, after our homepage is the course syllabus. This is really important. It gives you all the rules and regulations and all of those kinds of things for our class. It won't let me see it because I'm in that test student mode, but you'll be able to see that course syllabus. I'll go ahead to our modules in my student mode. Now, some of our beginning modules are like setting up a meeting with the instructor, and then we have some information about our course setup. We do have a lot of resources available to you. Please don't think like those are some sort of overhead that's causing you trouble. These resources are all here to help you as a student so that you can be more productive and get help when you need it. There will be the video about using Revel that'll be separate. We don't need to install any software right now. You will know when it's time, when you are ready to start debugging, for you to install software yourself. In our first module, our week 1 lesson, we see beginning the lesson is the overview page. The overview page is included for each of your lessons, and it tells you what the required reading is and what our objectives are for the lesson. If you click next or go back to the module and look at the next thing in the module, you'll see that it is a link to a presentation from our Revel content. I'm not going to wait for that to open. They are pretty large presentations. The next link in our module is our instructor videos. Again, we have another link to the How to Use Revel video so that you are sure to catch it. And then writing our very first program. Our first assignment is our introduction assignment. I'm going to go back to the module section at this point so that I can show you that assignment from a bird's eye view. When we look at our week 1 module, our assignments are an introduction, which will be a really short video in Teams, our syllabus quiz to make sure you've taken a look at that course syllabus, and then you'll have 2 assignments that are from Revel. So we are ready to take a look at our Revel tool before we move on. I'll be doing that by clicking on this Pearson Revel link or any of the links that go to our Revel assignments. I'm going to close this video now and I will see you in our next video where we take a quick look at using Revel. Thank you.